guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Callie and today I'm going to be going through kind of all of the bookish accessories that I use with reading. So because I read a ton, I have a lot of just bookish things that I use for tracking, for cataloging. I journal, I do online reviews. So I like to keep organized, and I have a couple of things that I figured with Christmas season coming up that I would share if you want to get to some of your bookish friends any of these. If a lot of them are big planners and stuff like that. So without further ado, the first thing that I have is I have a reader-specific planner. And with all of these products, I will link all of the shops down below in the description if you're interested. This is the Always Fully Booked Planner by Little Inklings Design. It is a reader-specific yearly journal. So we have just, let me see if I can find, there's goals. She does a lot of these like challenges, which as you can see with the end of the year, I've been filling out. Little bookshelves for you to fill out as you read. This is a reading tracker that I already filled up. Some of my favorite pages, she has like a series tracker. This is a Battle of the Books page, which has been really fun to do. Plus just a bunch of, you know, the typical, so I have January, and then at the end of the month, you can keep track of all the books or bookish things you've brought in, plus a summary of your month, including page count, the books you've read, audio versus ebook. I also add in DNFs. You can put in quotes, all sorts of fun things. There's also stuff at the end of the year that you can fill out. So I have purchased the 2022 version of this because this is actually the only planner that I've kept up with for a year. Usually I'll get planners and I can last maybe 6 or 7 months, but this one's lasted the entire year. So I bought the second one. Now with this, this was a pre-order that happened in September or October when I bought them. So I'll still link her page down below because she has other things which I'll show off that I use. Her site's fantastic and I love all the things that she does. So one of the things with this, I'll open it again, she has review pages in the back, which is great. However, because I read so much, she has 120 of these little things at the end of the planner. And this is honestly my only complaint is I needed more. So when I ran out of room in this one, I ended up purchasing one of her little just book review booklets that she sells all year round. And it has a very similar thing. Each page you have title, author, the dates you read it, the stars, if you posted it to social media or to a review, page count, genre, where it's from, the format, plus you can add in who your favorite character was and a favorite quote. I'm not really good at collecting quotes. I honestly always forget. And if I'm hunting for quotes, then I want to like quote everything. So I typically leave that spot blank, but I have been filling this out since I ran out of room in the actual planner. And when I bought the actual planner, I bought 2 more of these because I figured for next year I will probably need them. And I'm actually already, I think I only have like 2 or 3 pages left in this one. And I'm running out, but I believe this is like 60 or some reviews. I don't remember the exact count, but she has redesigned them. And I have the new redesigned one, which has the year published, which is something that I keep track of through a different app. But it's really nice that that's something that it'll be written down and I can keep track of in my booklets. So those are both from Little Inklings Design. With those planners and everything, I like to check off things. I need a to-do list. I need lists and everything like that. So I use, these are Tiny Kate plans on Etsy, and she has these just itty bitty little stickers that I can put in my planner, and that's what I do for the post-it and everything because I don't like how my check marks look. X's I use for DNFing. I also keep track of when I want to do Instagram, so I've got these little Instagram ones. The check marks are the main ones that I utilize. I have several of these. I also have pens for when I want to do writing. I have these little books, and that's how I keep track of when, I'll put these in my planner when I finish a book so that I can keep track of what dates I finished books on. I also have other things which I keep for work, for Reese. So I've got like a Teams meeting little sticker. I also have a YouTube button sticker. So I can plan out the month for this channel and everything. I also have little dog stickers for my dog Reese. If he has anything coming up. She has a ton of these stickers, but these are just the main ones that I use. And I love them. They're cheap. They last me forever. The only ones that I've had to repurchase are the check marks. And she just, I don't think just, but recently, she used to have the check marks on this size. Now they're on this size. So I bought like 3 of these and I've only gone through like 1. So they last me a while. I love using them. They stick perfectly fine on the planner and everything. So I've never had any issues with that, but it's a really good visualization that I like to use. Also with the planning and everything, when I do my book reviews, you notice that there are some highlighted things, so I use a highlighter to do all of the kind of, as opposed to circling. I just think highlighting looks nicer. I try and match the colors of the highlighters to like kind of the cover or color scheme of the book, or as close as I can get. The ones that I use are the Zebra Midliner, the double-ended point ones. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that well, but I like it because for when I'm just highlighting things, it's got that angled edge, and then when I'm filling out the stars, it has that little marker point. I really like these. I am in the market for different highlighters that have this similar color palette because I don't like the bright neon ones. This pack comes in a ton of pastels, which I really like, so I prefer that kind of color palette. These ones do bleed through the old. They don't bleed through the planner pages, but they bleed through the darker colors like this brown. I have a red and a darker blue. They bleed through on the review pages, which can get a little muddled, and I don't prefer that. For pens, I really like Zebra. So my favorite currently are the Zebra Sarasa Clip. And this is, I think it's like the fall one, because this came with like a maroon, a purple, like a deep purple, black, gray, and I think like a mustard color that I really like. And I just like it because it's a very fine point. It doesn't bleed through any of my pages. I really like a very fine point. I think these are the 0.5s. Yeah, these are the 0.5s. So that's what I use for most of my planner stuff. I also use Notion, which is an app. It's a free app for planning. I have it on my laptop and I have it on my iPad, and I do a lot of my reviews, and this is how I do a lot of my year-end wrap-up statistics, because I fill out everything in my Notion app, which I can show you how that kind of looks, how I've set it up. So I have, this is for The Gilded Cage by Lynette Noni. So I have that, the rating, what month I read it. If this is the final book, I have a duology or series complete box, or if it's a reread, the type. So if it is a series, duology, standalone, graphic novel, anything like that. The gender of the author, I also checkmark if I had a special edition of this book. The date published, the age group, which I have categorized just between adult, young adult, and middle grade. If I unhauled the book, if it's a favorite or if it was a disappointment, and then I also have a main library tab, and I've connected this to that, and at the very bottom I have my review of it. And that's how I kind of keep everything. That's more the bigger picture glance that so I use this for. Other generally bookish things that I have, I'm a big bookmark person. I love bookmarks. I don't dog ear. I've never been one of those people. I don't use a receipt as a bookmark. I have legit bookmarks. I have them all over my office. This is one of my current favorite ones. It says books are just word tacos. So I've been using this a lot, but I've categorized all of my bookmarks in specific places. Is there one in the view? I have one up here. This is my pre-order campaign bookmark mug. They're all in mugs as well, because I have too many mugs, so I needed to take them out of my kitchen and put them in here. So yeah, so I have a pre-order mug. I have like a got in a book box mug. I have a indie bookshop mug, because a lot of indie bookstores will have specific bookmarks, and I love to collect those. And then I have my entire ACOTAR or not ACOTAR, my Sarah J Maas shelf. So I have those separated out by her series, and I bookmark specific to that. And then I have just the 2 wide bookmarks, which is a lot of the book of the month bookmarks, just ones that are wider. I get a lot of them through pre-order incentives. I don't really buy a lot of bookmarks unless one like calls out to me when I'm shopping. I'll pick it up like this one did. Otherwise I get them just in random book boxes or as pre-order campaigns. There's been a couple that I've purchased because they're pretty from some of my favorite Etsy shops, which I will link down below, some of my favorite bookmark Etsy shops that I have purchased from in the past, but I don't do it all that often. When reading, one of my new favorite gadgets that I've gotten is this. It is this one, but I have an Addie LaRue one as well, but you hold your thumb in it. I have a book here, for example, and it'll just hold your pages open for you. And you can actually hold these big giant books with one hand, which is really nice. And I like that. I don't use these terribly often, but with the bigger books like this, I will hold them. They're comfortable, they're fine. Half the time they end up being a fidget toy, but I enjoy using them. The last thing, which is probably one of my favorite finds, I do occasionally tab books. I'm not a huge annotator, but when I do, I hate the look of the little sticky tabs hanging out. I hated it. So that was kind of a big deterrent for me for annotating my books. But then I found these, they're called book darts. So they're these tiny little, they're like paper clips, but they're very sleek. They have that's 2 of them. They're very sleek and have this just simple point at the end. And when you annotate or tab your books, they don't look super bulky. So you can kind of see, you can see where they are easily, but they don't pop out. They look very sleek and nice, and I really like that. I think that that's just a lot nicer. So that's kind of all I use for when I'm actually reading. The kind of tools that I use, one big thing, I love candles, so I have a ton of candles all around my house as well. I'll light a candle and listen to music while I'm doing my reading sprints. For me, I do reading sprints in 100 pages, and then I'll usually take a break for an hour, and that's kind of how I plan out my day. Is I make sure that I have a reading sprint or 2, because I have a daily goal of reading 100 pages a day, which is only 1 sprint. So that can be during my lunch break, right after work, in between doing other things. But yeah, so one of my favorite candle companies is Briarwick. They have a ton of fandom based scents that I really like. So I have a good amount of their Sarah J Maas collection. I have their From Blood and Ash collection. I just have a ton of them because they smell nice and they have really good sales sometimes, and they keep giving me coupons. And the last thing I can't really show off, but I listen to music while I read, and I have a specific playlist that's just called my reading playlist, which has been a playlist I've had since high school. This playlist has just kind of, I've never taken things off of this playlist, but I've always added to it. I don't even know how many. But the songs within this playlist are mainly movie scores. I have a ton from Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, a lot of Howard Shore, John Williams. I have a good amount of Alexandre Desplat on there, and I've just sort of collected a ton of music and I've added to it. The most recent additions, I would say, is I started adding Yaruma to it, in love with his piano playing, so I've added that. I've been adding a lot of Hayao Miyazaki film score, which is just gorgeous. Mainly Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle are the big 2. I have a little bit of Princess Mononoke because that score is also fantastic. But I love movie scores. They're very calming. And one of the other things, if I'm not in the mood to have a shuffle, some books I can kind of tell what kind of ambiance they require. I follow a YouTuber by the name of Ambient Worlds, which again, I'll link down below. They take film scores and put it to like a lot of their stuff is a lot of Harry Potter, but like it's Hogwarts in the rain. So they've picked out a bunch of these scores from all the Harry Potter films and set it to a rainy or thunderstormy backdrop, and then the picture is Hogwarts and you see the rain. I really like this, especially if I want to take a break from my playlist, which can go from like, I think I have the Star Wars intro, and then it can go into like a death scene from the Hunger Games, and it's very varied. And I have to be kind of in a very chaotic reading mood to listen to it. Well, not even, I listen to it all the time, and sometimes I just zone out, but it can get chaotic. So sometimes if I really like a specific ambiance, I'll put that on my TV and let that play, because they're usually like 3 to 5 hours, which is perfect. So usually I read for about an hour during my sprints. That's gonna be it for today's video. Very chill, very just different things I like to use. And since it's coming up on the holiday season, and I know Sarah and Brittany ask me a ton what things I use, because I am very organized, especially with the reviews and everything. So this is what I came up with. And that's gonna be it for today's video. Check out all the links down below. I'll have a ton down there. And that's going to be it for today's video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. We post videos every Tuesday and Thursday with the occasional Sunday. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!